I'm digging. I'm digging out, man. Dig it? Do you dig it? You get what I'm doing?
White Sox have dug themselves quite a bit of a hole lately, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Windy City Digits. That's Vic. I'm Carl. Thanks for tuning into the channel, and everyone's been watching the videos and commenting. We do appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about baseball. It's been a while since we've talked a whole lot of baseball. We've got some episodes coming up. We're going to be focusing on the Bulls and the Bears coming up because they're going to be coming up pretty quick here. But today we're going to be talking about baseball. We're talking about Cubs and Sox. So what side you want to start with, Vic? You want to start with the south side, north side? Where do you want to start?
Let's talk about these guys right over my shoulder.
Okay.
Do you see them over my shoulder, man? They're the Cubs.
I see them.
That's the moment they won for the first time in 108 years.
Which seems like it might be another 108, but
God, man, don't depress us. Seriously, that's not.
So
nice,
where do you want to? So look, I'll be honest. Like I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to Cubs, other than this this kid Morel.
All right, so let me talk about the Cubs. The Cubs, they were god awful about a month ago, and then they've been playing almost like 500 ball recently to maintain. Actually, they had a pretty good winning streak for a little bit. They're 8 under 500. They're in fourth place. They're actually kind of where I thought they would be. However, their hitting's actually better than I thought it would be, which is kind of surprising. Kind of surprises me, honestly. They're in the middle of the pack in hitting in the major leagues. I mean, they're better than the Sox. I mean,
they're better than the Sox. I was just gonna say that.
Their average is 244. They're probably, let's say, I don't know, 12th in baseball in hitting.
Okay.
They're top 5 in stolen bases. So I kind of like I do like the fact that we're getting away from this. And what was this? This was more along the lines of, home run or die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Cubs, their on-base percentage actually is, I think, in top 5 too, which is surprising for a team that's doing so. They've got some. They just don't have timely hitting. They don't have a lot of power. Those are some.
Don't talk to me about timely hitting.
Well, yeah, we're talking about the Sox, but you're right. Morel is looking like a really good fit so far for like a good, good rookie.
Yeah.
Looks a better prospect than Baez was at this point without the big pop. But, he actually is getting on base. He's fast. He steals bases. He's got good defense. He's looking like a pretty guy. And then you got like Schwindel, who's coming back. He started off horribly, kind of like some of your Sox guys over there. Man, like Grandal. Who else?
Well, we'll talk about that.
We talk about that, man.
So, like, look, on the north side, like to you right now, like, is it like, do they pass the eye test? Like, do you feel like they're putting out, like, under the circumstance, like a decent product out on the field? Well, decent. I don't know. It seems to be entertaining. I mean, like, to me, this
lately,
Morel kid seems to like
lit a fire under the Cubs. You know what? Actually, Schwindel he's kind of energetic, enthusiastic, a guy you want on your team, and that's probably why they liked him so much. Thank God he's starting to hit. He's the same kind of energy guy. I mean, it's exciting to have someone in there that hits a double, scores someone in, and he's going crazy just by tying the game up last.
Look, the Cubs are the Cubs. You guys knew what you were getting into when the season started, right? But at this point, at this point in the season, you're a third of the way in. Like, are there any really major complaints that you've got at this point with the Cubs as far as like where they're at, how they're playing, like issues with the manager, players? Are there any really major issues or complaints as a Cubs fan?
Yeah, I think most of it would be going towards Ricketts and saying that we weren't doing a full rebuild. We were borderline looking like a rebuild team, and it's only 1/3 of the season, so it may look like a rebuild soon. Chicago Cubs have got a wealth of money and need to put more money into their club. They've got to decide what to do with Wilson Contreras. He's a stud of a catcher. I think he's 30 years old. I would like to see them sign him for a 3 or 4 year contract and give him the money he deserves, and then, shore up some more of these positions next free agent period and show Cubs fans that we truly aren't rebuilding. I think that's what Cubs fans want to see. And if we're not going to do that, then hey, free agent period of August 2nd, then we're looking out to dishing out Kyle Hendricks. We're looking out to deal Wilson Contreras, some players, and get some draft picks and redo it, because I don't see how else they're going to do it. They need to either, or get off the pot.
All right. Well, those of you that are Cubs fans, let's hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Where do you guys think they are right now as a club? Are you guys happy? What things you're happy with the club? Things you're not happy with? Did you agree with Vic as far as like Ricketts needing to spend more money on the team? Things like that. We'd love to hear you guys comments down below.
I got one more thing. Biggest surprise for the Cubs, biggest happy surprise would be Keegan Thompson pitching. He's awesome. He besides Morel, who's kind of newer, Keegan Thompson's having a phenomenal season. So that would be my pick.
Do you think he's a guy you could build around? I know it's only a third of a season, but I mean, do you feel like he's got potential to be, a number one and a guy you could build your staff around?
Not yet, but no. I would say he'd be a number 3 right now. With consistency, if he continues this, yes, absolutely. So let's switch to the South Side. I wanna pick your brain about Southsiders, man, because.
So, you brought up a lot of numbers with the Northsiders, and really the South Side, really honestly, the bottom line is that we're not hitting, and we're also not only I saw a stat the other day, like the Sox so far in the season have had the bases loaded like 31 or 32 times, and out of that they've only gotten like 1 or 2 hits and 1 walk. Wow. Right?
Yeah, they're 12th from the bottom in the major leagues in hitting, man.
But I would say, numbers aside, right? Yep. As a Sox fan, I think the biggest thing right now is miraculously we're only 3 games behind in the loss column. That's the biggest number, right? Steve Stone keeps pointing this out on Twitter, right? We're only 3 games behind in the loss column, and you keep that number close. I'd say it's got to be less than 5, right? But if you keep that number close, you're in. We're still in it. Right. And we're still down players. Eloy's coming back soon. Right. Lance Lynn's coming back soon. Joe Kelly is on the injured list also. So, I mean,
why do you think they're 20? Why do you think they're 21st in pitching, man?
I think it's one of those, it's those things. No, I think it's one of those things again, where we're not scoring runs. So the pitching staff feels that pressure. Like Cease has been somewhat inconsistent. Vasquez has been all over the place, right? They cut Dallas Keuchel. They DFA'd him and sent him on his way, right? Yep. We've got some younger guys like Jimmy Lambert, potentially might be another spot that, he could be going to. And Kopech is not getting any help at all. Like Kopech is pitching lights out and he's not getting any help. Cease isn't getting any run support. But, I think the biggest thing is that we've used the most number of starting lineups in the major leagues. I think I saw a stat that basically we've had almost basically a different starting lineup for every single game. And I think part of the reason why these guys aren't hitting is because they're not getting consistent playing time. They're not getting hitting in the same spot. Andrew Vaughn has hit anywhere from 2nd to 9th almost every single day, and he's our best hitter right now. And I can't figure out for the life of me why on earth they keep moving him in and out of the lineup into different spots.
He's hitting 286.
We have Leori Garcia that's hitting like a $160 something, a $140 something, and it seems like
89, man.
Yeah, and Tony's putting him at the start of the. I know Anderson's out, right? But Put AJ Pollock up at the top. Put Andrew Vaughn at the top of the lineup, so at least you get something going. You can't have a guy that's hitting 189 leading off your lineup. I know we're down to shortstop right now. I get it, but you can't have that
going on with these players, man.
You can't well, look.
135 Moncada.
Any professional athlete will tell you that they need to be playing consistently. They do. Moncada's in and out of the lineup.
Not this bad, dude.
Like Moncada's been in and out of the lineup. Like they haven't put him in consistently. You got to let him hit his way out of it. Grandal is the only guy that I would say that he's got consistent number of bats.
Yeah, he has.
He's got the consistent number of bats, but he's just not hitting. Right?
Gavin Sheets, 206.
Gavin Sheets is another guy, right? They use him for that lefty righty thing. So the bright side for Sox fans, the bright side for Sox fans is that we're only 3 games out of the loss column, right?
I agree, man.
This is gonna be one of those things to where either management is gonna be right and they're gonna say, look, Tony LaRussa knows what he's doing and he's gonna get us out of this, and just got to stick with the program. Or it's going to be come the end of the season, we're going to be like, oh God, Tony completely. This was the worst decision ever. Bringing back LaRussa, right?
Hey, so question for you. So the Sox, okay, so Kopech, his ERA is 2.20. Okay,
yeah,
he's only thrown 45 innings, so he's basically throwing 5 innings every time he goes out. Cueto. What do you think about Cueto? He's pitched 2.9. He's got a 2.92 ERA. Cease 3.39. Giolito 3.61.
So look, those numbers are a little deceiving, especially like Cueto. Cueto's had no run support at all. Well, look, Cueto's had no run support at all. If those were games where he was winning in the 6th inning, he's not pitching past the 6th inning. He's giving some of these runs up late because they keep him out there because they don't want to waste the bullpen because we're already down 2, 3, 4 runs, right? They leave him like the last start. They leave him out there. And if we were winning come the 6th inning, he would have been out and we would have turned it over to bullpen, right?
That other starter's killing you guys, man.
Vasquez has been in and out. I think Cueto's going to take that Vasquez spot. And again, look, once we're back to full strength, right? You got Giolito, you got Lance Lynn, you got the names are escaping me right now.
That's all right, man.
But look, I had
it up there.
You have your starting lineup. I got to pull this up. This is going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about some some Cubs surprises, actually. Okay.
Go ahead.
So if we're doing that, like I said, Keegan Thompson, man, he's 6-0. He's got a 1.99 ERA. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. Like you said, I don't know if that's like a number 1 guy down the road, but he's got to show more. Kyle Hendricks is 5.22, and Stroman, our big free agent pickup, is a 5.32. Our starting pitching has not been that good. And then you got Justin Steele, 5.4. I thought he was coming off solid, and then he's taken a dive, man.
Like I think, especially when it comes to pitchers these days, some of these numbers are just deceiving, right? I mean, Kopech, you're right. Like, he hasn't had as many innings pitched, but the first 4 or 5 starts, he gave – like, his ERA was under 1. And the only reason he came out of the game is because he had a high pitch count. He's had a problem with at times, like he'll have one bad inning where he throws a ton of pitches, walks a couple of guys, but he pitches his way out of it. And that's the only reason why his innings are down, because especially at the start of the season, like his first 4 starts, he got into like the 70, 80 pitch count range by like the 4th or 5th inning. You're not going to let a starter go 80, 90 pitches the first 2, 3, 4 weeks of the season.
No,
nope. So that's where I think some of the stats are a little bit deceiving. But as far as so
what do you do?
The starters.
So let's talk about next steps. Are there next steps first of all for the Sox? We'll do Sox first, then Cubs. Before August 2nd, as a Sox fan, deadline.
As a Sox fan, I don't think we're going to make a whole lot of trades. And we might pick up, if anything else, we're going to need pitchers. We might need another catcher, especially if Grandal's going on this route. I don't know. second baseman, I think Mendick might be the answer because he's playing pretty well. Josh Harrison doesn't seem to be the answer, and Leor Garcia definitely is not the answer.
Yeah.
Right? From an offensive perspective, he's not the guy, right? That might be the only thing. But again, it's going to be one of those things. And knowing Reinsdorf and his history, if we're not in first place come the trade deadline, he's going to sell. Like there was that famous red flag trade. There was that. Listen,
didn't they call it the white flag? Didn't they call it the white flag sale or something?
White flag trade. They were 4 games out of first place when the trading deadline came out, and they started letting people go. Right. I think that you might see the same type thing. Like it wouldn't surprise me if that point, if AJ Pollock isn't playing, like you let AJ Pollock go, you let Yasmani Grandal go, right? But that could still benefit you if you get rid of a couple guys for some more draft picks or. But as a Sox fan, that's not what we were looking for this year.
I know, I know that. But then if you could get some draft picks or
we're as a Sox fan, we're not interested.
Just listen. Just wait, and then next year in free agency, get some of those bigger fish that you guys did not get this year. Then maybe you've got a better competitive club.
You're saying that as a logical sports fan. Any Sox fans knows, right? We don't go out and get the big name guys because those agents know the White Sox aren't going to pay players.
No. Okay, the Cubs. That's something the Cubs would do, I think.
Yeah, so. Like on the South side, I can't remember the last big name free agent that signed for a ton of money. Right? I mean, we signed guys like Albert Bell and Tim Raines back in the day, right? But it wasn't like a blockbuster type signing, right? And we've got a lot of young guys at every position. Yeah. So like that's why like for White Sox fans, White Sox fans, we know that's not going to happen.
That'd be interesting to look at to see what was the top free agent signing for the Sox. Now the Cubs, on the other hand, I hope they don't trade everybody. I want to see them. I want to see them keep this team and possibly pick up some free agents over the winter because they've got the cash. They got the capital. I'll be really annoyed if they just trade people.
So where do you spend that money? Like what positions do you spend that money on?
Well, first of all, I think the pitching. I think they need another starter, and they need somebody with pop. They really don't have a really key guy with pop.
Okay, and that's the other thing. In this day and age of baseball, right?
Yeah.
What big name free agent pitcher or big name hitter is going to go sign for a team that's in the middle of a rebuild?
I don't know, man. It's a great question. Depends on how much you're going to pay. I mean, people are greedy. They go to places. I mean, people like Wrigley Field. People like playing in Chicago for the Cubs. I don't know. We haven't really got a really big free agent pitcher other than Lester. I don't know. Even Maddox came back to pitch for the Cubs.
Was Lackey considered a big time signing when you got him?
He was towards the end of his career. Honestly, I mean, it was still big for us. I mean, we really needed a number 4 starter at that time. I think
Jason Hayward was your last big time.
We had Soriano before. I mean, we've had some big free agent signings. I don't see them not doing it. That's what I would like to do, but I don't have a lot of faith. I don't know what the heck Ricketts is doing. So,
all right. Apologies to everyone out there. Vic's a little bit under the weather, so he's kind of slobbering all over in his microphone and sniffling a lot through the podcast. So I should have said that at the start, but apologize to everyone.
Thanks, man.
Everyone understanding that he's
I've got snot running on the microphone.
All over the microphone. So, well, everyone, thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the content we're providing out here. Any comments on the Sox and Cubs? Feel free to leave comments down below. If you haven't had a chance yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified of future content. We do have some episodes coming up about the Bulls and the Bears, Cubs, and Sox. July is going to be a fun month, I think, because you're going to really start talking about free agency for NBA. A lot of road dropping.
Too, yeah.
Bears will be in free agency or summer camp, so we'll be getting. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. Peace
Love
and digits.